Please welcome to the stage the awesome Sujata Massey, who will present the Ellery Queen recipient of 2022.
Thanks so much, MWA friends. It's so exciting to be back here where we can actually see each other. I love it. And I'm absolutely elated to present the Ellery Queen Award to my editor, Juliet Grames. What a well-deserved honor for the associate publisher of Soho Press, who not only edits mystery fiction, but also literary fiction and fiction and translation. We wouldn't have these great Japanese mysteries if it wasn't for Juliet. And I want to say, having been her subject for a few years, that her gift for understanding what makes a book work is somehow matched with her feeling to honor a writer's voice and let them be free to who they are. And over the time that I've been at Soho, I've watched her continue to build a list that is dynamic and represents so many communities in our country and around the world. And she is not afraid to share differences and similarities. She makes us feel valued as writers in the home, and I know that she has done so much to build community among other editorial people. And ultimately, she's an ally to writers, but she's also an ally to readers. Because why don't readers deserve the most diverse work? Why don't they deserve to hear every story? So I'm really, really honored to give this award to my editor, Juliet Grames. My darling, I love you. I love you so much.
I didn't know Sujata was going to be presenting. Hang on a second. Okay. So, some publishing professional once said that editors work for reviews, but they live for acknowledgement. So, I want to thank the MWA. I want to thank Marjorie, my old buddy. I want to thank the board of directors. I don't really know how I ended up here today, but I do want to say that this is the greatest career honor I could ever have imagined achieving in my lifetime, and I really barely imagined that I could ever achieve it when I got that call in January. So the acknowledgement of the hours and the energy that I've been lucky enough to devote to our community and our collective body of literature, it absolutely means the world to me. And I just want to be very, very clear that I am accepting this award. It has my name on it, so I'm taking it home. However, it's not really mine to accept. So, an editor on her own is nothing except a seething ball of thwarted creative ambition. And if you'll allow me a moment, I would like to implicate my co-conspirators. So, for 10 of the 12 years that I've been at Soho Press, there has been a core team of 6 people who have worked on every single Soho Crime title. So when you think of Soho Crime, you are thinking of the kingdom that they have built, brick by brick, page by page. Printer negotiation, by trade-facing advertisement, by press release, by strongly worded letter. And I want to call out each of those other 5 people, 3 of whom are here tonight. So first, our publisher, Bronwyn, she's sitting right there. Without whom it is every editor's dream to work for a publisher who is so wholly supportive of their passion and so aligned with their convictions. Bronwyn has the very delicate task of nurturing our ambitious dreams while magically squashing them into an independent press budget. It's not an easy tightrope to walk. For 12 years, she has read behind me and often in front of me on every book we have acquired. She has bitten her lip when I proposed something risky, fought on the front lines for every choice I've made as if it were her own choice, and helped me clean up my mess when things didn't work out exactly as planned. Her resilience, elegant stubbornness, and sartorial example inspire me every day. Thank you, Bronwyn, for putting me on this stage tonight. Thank you. Next to her, Rudy Martinez, the Soho Press marketing director. He is the visionary behind our ad campaigns, our outreach schemes, and our general imprint image. Since we're an independent press, the title marketing director means a heck of a lot more than those traditional responsibilities. And he is also just about everyone in the entire world's favorite person, which is the perfect disguise for a fixer, FYI. My two OGs are not here tonight because they're both too darn responsible to attend a banquet, but I want to acknowledge Rachel Kowal, our managing editor, and Janine Agro, director of art and production. They are basically the Tom Hagen and Silvio Dante of this thing of ours. I'm not meaning to imply that either of them would or wouldn't break anyone's kneecaps. But Rachel, I know you're watching tonight. Her job as managing editor is to manage the editors, and it's not always a pleasant job. She also runs our audio publishing program and quietly in the background edits some of our best-selling crime titles, including those by tonight's Sue Grafton nominee, Quay Quartet, right there. She is a treasure, and there's no one with whom I would rather have spent the last decade locked in a brain meld, so thank you, Rachel. And Janine, meanwhile, is the reason that any of our books make it into print. She wrangles warehouse teamsters, scrounges up alternate paper sources, finagles miraculous printer contracts, all between typesetting every single Soho book and often designing our jackets on the fly when designers get stumped. Anyone in the audience who is an author, if you are not thanking your production director in your acknowledgments, start now. This is the time. I'm giving you this idea. They are silently in the background, and they are goddesses. And finally, last but not least, I want to acknowledge Paul Oliver, our director of publicity. Paul has reshaped not just the way Soho Press publicizes books. I see his philosophies and practices trickling out to other imprints and publishers. Paul is a genius, and he's the reason Soho has been able to give our authors the platform that they deserve. I don't believe this just because he's my baby daddy. And he's not my baby daddy just because I believe this. But my 11 years with Paul have shaped my understanding of how books can touch people and have given me the strength and inspiration to wake up every morning ready to shake my fist all over again. These are the Fab Five. If you don't see their names in every single Soho Crime Acknowledgements page that's been printed in the last decade, it's because they are too ethical and discreet, and they often operate invisibly. But I cannot take credit for this award alone. I know you're acknowledging what Soho has accomplished in the last 10 years, and it is as much due to them. I also want to recognize the Soho staff who haven't hit that decade mark yet. Here tonight, our amazing sales manager, Stephen Tran, who's a baby at only 5 years tenure. And also the lovely Yessa Venezia, who joined our criminal cabal last year as an editor, and I'm so glad to have her. Loving thanks to those at home tonight, Mark Doughton, Alexa Waco, Erica Loberg, Cherie Cheatwood, Emma Levy, and Taz Ernov. It's actually a really small team, and we all fight for every title that we publish, and we love all of you so much and being part of this community. So, at Soho, we've been extremely fortunate for our career-long retention of author relationships, which brings me to my next round of co-conspirator incrimination here. Above all, an editor is, at their highest caliber of function, merely a midwife. It is a great gift of trust for an author to agree to let another human being involve themselves in their creative output. I'm deeply grateful to the Soho criminals who have granted me that privilege. There are too many of them to thank individually. Not because I'm worried about the speech gong, which I'm sure is coming, but only because I'm worried that I might accidentally forget someone, and that person obviously knows 642 different ways to murder me. But I do need to call out a few by name. When I came to Soho in 2010, I was stepping into the shoes I could not possibly fill. Those of the late, great Laura Ruska, Bronwyn's mother, and the Soho co-founder. The authors on the list I inherited acted with great patience and generosity, holding my hand with completely undue respect as I educated myself about the genre. In particular, I want to thank MWA Grandmaster Peter Lovesey, Stuart Neville, Martin Lamone, James R. Ben, and Cara Black, who has not yet succeeded in getting me arrested, although I assume she's not done trying. You believe me. You believed in me when I hadn't yet earned your good opinion, and I will be forever grateful. I also want to thank the authors who let me convince them to join the Soho ranks during my tenure here. Your faith means the world. I'm not going to list them again because I don't want to get murdered, but special congratulations tonight to our nominees, our now winner, Naomi Hirahara, and Kwe Korte, and a special thanks to my body specialist over there, Mary Higgins Clark Award winner, Sujata Massey, the ultimate OG. No one in this room needs to hear my stump speech about the power of crime fiction to build empathy, to interrogate power structures, to inspire change in the pursuit of justice. I know you already know. And no one in this room needs to hear my invective against the phrase transcend the genre. But these are speeches I know how to give, and now often have the opportunity to, thanks to the pedagogy and generosity of specific MWA members, including the virtuoso genre scholar Sarah Weinman, to whom I owe the deepest debt of gratitude for wise advice throughout the early years of my crime fiction career. And finally, I want to thank my parents. My dad, Michael Grames, who was responsible for introducing me to my first ever crime fiction series. It was Ellis Peters' brother, Cadfile. And also my mom, who is truly a crime fiction aficionado, Linda Grames. In her undercover role as sixth grade teacher, she indoctrinated generations of children to love Ellen Raskin's The Westing Game. So, fighting for our cause. Thank you all for helping me bring the very best to our worthy enterprise. May we all continue to join together to help our beautiful community evolve and grow. It is my very great honor to be able to say I'm part of this dialogue. Thank you all so, so much.